Hi, this is Nikki, and I'm here with a conversation with the divine counterparts. And so, I'm using the Wisdom of the Oracle deck, and it's the questions that I ask are intuitive. So, the questions that I ask today are: what do they want to tell me today? What's going on in your head, in their head? What's going on in your heart or their heart? What do you want to say but couldn't? And it is happy, happy. Do they want me to contact them? And it is definitely, I asked for some clarifiers, and it is be at peace, be poised, and then take a nap. So I can definitely say that no, now is not the time. Always go with your own intuition though. Intuition. What do they want you to know to help you into a reunion? And it is just knowing at a soul level, and it's that deep knowing. And then what's different from last week, and it is about, again, number 7, but it is about being in a more vulnerable place, basically. What does the universe want you to focus on? And it is for the never-ending story, that these are basically unions that will always come back together because you are destined for each other. What does the universe want you to know about your reunion? And it is that the masks have to come off, and it is about living by your truth. And notice that these 2 cards are the only cards in the deck that have the mask. Also, they're both golden. Also, look at the owl. The owl is opening themselves up to be transparent within, because it's opening yourself up to wisdom. And, you know, everything that true love is about being open and an open book and being vulnerable. And so that is why, again, this is quite a lovely message. What special message does your divine counterpart want to give you? And it is all about building blocks for new beginnings and having a loyal heart. And knowing that, you know, everything that you're doing at the moment is you're on an energetic journey back to each other. And so, what do they want to tell you? And it is again about this sense of, notice that it's number 3 though, which is the doorway to romance, in the energy that I use, but also that there is, you know, conflicting times for them. And so, knowing that they still want you to know this, that they are going through some tricky times. So stubbornness is keeping you in a state of opposition. The incessant need to be right will only serve to prolong the conflict that deep down you want to be resolved. This is an opportune moment to learn about your values, your sense of self, and what's really important to you. Some things are non-negotiable. If that's true, it's not necessary to fight. Can you find a way through the stormy emotions to a high ground? Soon the air will clear, and you'll be in a much better place than before, for the storm will have passed, blazing a path for new growth in its wake. Things can become electric and enlightened, always better than before, if you use this time constructively. So they've got this conflict because their head is telling them, you know, I can see, because the next question is what's going on in your head, and it's a sense of having unfinished business, and you know because their soul is calling them towards you, but then you know their head is they're reasoning with things, but ultimately the pull of the heart knows that you know they have an unfinished business basically. So there is incomplete lessons that need to be closed off, right, with whatever situations they're in. So you can still feel bound up in relationships when closure is denied you. It's important to achieve this for yourself. So it's about, you know, knowing that with you there is unfinished business, but also knowing that actually they have to, you know, finish things that they're in and finish situations that they're in as well. So when unfinished business casts a shadow over your life, it is a reminder that procrastination is a form of self-sabotage. It is not in your best interest to stall. Even stumbling forward is better than holding back. Don't overthink things or let yourself get distracted. Just tie up any loose ends and deliver the results. Don't quit before the finish line, because Spirit wants you to win. So, you know, they're getting caught up in their head and procrastinating about things. So, you know, because what their heart's telling them is this. It's about imagine. It's about imagining, you know, they're imagining being with you. So, again, there is this sense of, you know, they want it, but they're procrastinating about doing things because, you know, it's causing them chaos as well, right? So, in Matter to the Heart, it's easy to daydream about another as a means of connecting to that person. And whilst that's romantic, if you want this relationship to be real, you do need to go for it, not just dream about it. Now is the time to move beyond the daydream and into reality, beyond illusion and into fruition. Relationships are about relating, so step out onto the dance floor where imagination partners with manifestation. The message of this card is that person with attributes you have imagined will enter your life. You'll be changed for the better. Imagine that. So, you know, that's what's happening, because they know that, you know, they've got to finish things off in order to come. But, you know, they're getting this really strong push to do things, to move forward, because you can't just carry on imagining it. You have to make it happen, because actually what do they want to say to you, but they can't? Is this, that you make them happy, right? You are the one that makes them, you know, want to get up in the morning. You're the one that makes their heart sing. So it is. There are moments in a relationship when you just feel good about whom you're with, and you know that your heart is wide open to befriend, to love, and to care for another without wanting anything in return. This is the kind of happy that you just want to share. The appearance of this card in a reading tells you that joy and contentment are here now, not somewhere else or off in the future. The grass is greenest right where you stand. Be grateful and delight in your relationship. And if you're seeking one, be happy now, because happiness attracts more of itself, like bees to honey. So what do they want to know? They want you to know that you are their honey and they are the bee. So they want to come towards you, right? So because they're wanting to, you know, they know that there's unfinished business with you. There's unfinished business that they need to get out of. They don't, you know, their heart is saying, okay, I'm imagining being in this union with you, but actually their head is procrastinating and, you know, not getting on with things. So do they want you to contact them? And then for this, I asked for 3. So the first one was be at peace, right? So this is about saying, you know, go within, right? Always go into your own intuition to answer these questions. And then I asked for another one, which was be poised. And this is saying, just be happy where you are at the moment. Focus on you, focusing on shining your light. And then also the next one was time for a nap. So I think all of those are saying, okay, no, this isn't the time. This is the time to focus on you. Focus on using the power of the fox again to help them come out of situations for you and for them, to help put you on your love path. And so focus this time really on you and going within and asking the you know, basically, like I say all the time, is get a piece of paper, write down the question. What is it that I need to do to help us into our reunion? Meditate on that question, and then after meditation, just write whatever comes. And whatever comes, it will be your soul. Because what do they want you to know to help you into your reunion? And it is this soul knowledge, right? Having that deep knowing. That's why I say go into your own inner wisdom to answer that question for yourself, because that is the quickest way for you to know. Also note that this is the only card that has the eclipse, the 2, and it is about knowing at a deep level that this relationship is meant for your soul. So there are occasions when you just know deep in your heart and soul that a person is going to play a meaningful role in your life. Someone crosses your path and suddenly, out of the blue, you've connected at a level impossible to describe. That feeling marks a moment in time etched indelibly onto your soul. Someone has entered your life who will be instrumental in your journey, so pay attention. 2 hearts are calling to each other to begin an alchemical process, and this is also a sign that your intuition about the person you care about is correct. Trust your heart to lead you now, because magic is about to happen. So trust, right? Trust your own intuition. The next one is what's different from last week. So what's changed, right? So I do them each week, asking like a what's up question. And it is about, they need to be vulnerable, right? Because now is the perfect time. It is about being vulnerable and accepting help, basically. So are you always insisting on doing everything yourself? And do you have little faith that help will come? convinced that the burden of the world is doomed to remain on your shoulders. Your beliefs about going it alone need to be discarded, as they do not serve you at all. Let others help you. Yes, it will make you feel vulnerable to admit you need a helping hand, but to be vulnerable is good, for you have a lesson to learn. You must let someone else assist you. You can't do life all by yourself. Once you shift your expectations, you'll be amazed by how quickly help arrives to give you a leg up. So again, that so fits perfectly with how they're feeling, right? This sense of chaos and procrastination about what to do and da-da-da. And actually what's changed is, you know, opening themselves up to being more vulnerable, right? To potentially asking for that help and, you know, seeing a way forward. So what does the universe, because ultimately it will be the universe that steps in and helps these situations and helps these unions to come together, right? Because what does the universe want you to focus on? And this is the knowledge that it is a never-ending story, right? That you are created together. Therefore, to have your new beginning is in the hands of the divine, and it is in the hands of the universe. Because this is all about rebirth and regrowth. And sometimes your heart enters into a contract with another that does result in pain, not because of abuse or neglect, but for other more complex reasons. Shame, fear of intimacy, and low self-esteem are the greatest challenges to the success of a relationship. Consider how valuable this knowledge is. Right now, you have an opportunity for important healing, but you must reflect on the stories you weave about love, connection, abandonment, rejection, and loneliness. Not only do you need to begin a new story, you need to forgive yourself for telling yourself the old ones. Have compassion for the part of you that believes all those narratives. None of them were ever true anyway. So you know why that's so lovely? Is because that's the universe saying, what do you need to focus on? And remembering that anything but love is an illusion. So then it says, what does the universe want you to know about your reunion? And this couldn't be better, because this is about focusing on letting go of the fear of intimacy, the fear of pain, the fear of loss. And the universe wants you to know for your reunion, it's about taking the masks off and really being true to your soul, right? And in order to do that and create that change, you have to take the mask off for yourself, right? So it's all about going within, focusing on letting the heart and letting love into you and being open to letting that flow out of you as well. So it's incoming, outgoing, an inpouring of love and an outpouring of love, because the masks have to come off for all of us to create our new beginning, right? But the universe needs this to happen because all that glitters is gold. So what is the special message that they want to give? And it is about, know that you are energetically building at the moment to create a new start, right? And they have a loyal heart for you, which is number 35. So I'll just read that out, because it's all about remembering that you're energetically doing it together. So your partnerships, friendships, and romantic relationships all have many qualities in common right now. Honest devotion, faithfulness, and a loyal heart are being shown to you. Now is the time for heartfelt commitments and trusting in divine protection. Well, there you go. It couldn't be better. Trust in divine protection. Trust that the universe has your back. Trust that at the moment, all of the building blocks are happening to create your new beginning. And what do they want you to know? They're becoming more open to help. And they want you to know they're going through some difficult times because it's difficult. They're in a state of procrastination, but there will be change. Okay, take care. Bye.